Yeah, hi, we're back out here at the pool in the spring. We're working the step areas here with the rag. You know, with the damp rag, what you want to do, the idea here is to take the rag, damp rag, and level out all that cream that's left on there so that there's not big fat areas of cream in one spot. The damp rag will help level that off and get it to a just nice, real light layer of cream all over the whole pool. And then once that's achieved and you get just that light layer, after you rag all of this really good with damp rags, you can see, if you zoom in, you can already see the quartz exposure in this pool that's already present. It's pretty substantial. And once we're done here and fill the pool and do an acid startup, it'll be really easy to get this to expose out real nice and look real pretty.
Emplaste.
¿Vale?
Si no le pones ácido, dura más tiempo el emplaste. Si no
¿Dura más tiempo?
Sí, más puede durar 1 año, 2 años más el emplaste. Si no le pones ácido, es mejor. Si le pones ácido, se acaba más pronto el emplaste. Si no le pones, dura más.
Ok. No estoy diciendo que ahorita van a hacer el ácido. Cuando nosotros meten cuando ya está listo el agua.
Cuando está lleno ya.
Sí.
Cuando lo curan.
Sí.
Okay.
No, están diciendo que los líneas aquí.
And that's the finished product here after we're done plastering. Right down here you can see the steps that they've done and taken extra care in these steps and making sure you got as much cream and even this out as much as possible, because this is the thing people are going to see real easy when they walk up to the pool. Those steps are going to be the first thing. So concentrated on those, got those perfect, and this is going to pay off big time when the pool is full and the acid startup goes. We have some comments going to come here from the crew leader that is going to talk a little bit in Spanish about the product. Thanks.
Cuando lo barreamos con la garra, queda más lisito y más parejo. Y si tiene partes de color blancas, con la garra se quita todo y queda más parejo el color azul. Y queda muy lisito. Y también dura como 1 año o 2 más, que cuando lo brochamos y le ponemos ácido, dura como 1 año o 2 menos. Y con la garra queda muy lisito. Y más parejo, todo más parejo. Si tiene partes blancas, con la garra le damos, queda todo más azulito, más azul. Sale más piedra.
This pool that we're applying our Hydraproducts blue blend to, and it has a silver flake in it, the mica flake. Right now we're ragging the pool, and what that amounts to is taking damp rags and evening out what cream is left on the pool. When you're troweling this, you try to remove as much of the cream as possible when you're troweling, and at this point what we're trying to do with the damp rags is take as much fat and even it out as much as possible on the surface. And the rags work really good to do that. We're trying to achieve as much exposure now before filling the pool, so that when we acid start up this and we use a 4-day method of acid bath, we'll come out with a really nice exposure and a very smooth finish. And that's what we're finding more people want these days, is a smooth finish with some color to the pool. This finish here has no dye in it, yet when we come back and show you the video after it's full, it'll have a light blue color look to it, even though there's no dye. And that's important. Anybody in the plaster business knows about color dyes in plaster. They just don't work too good. So what we developed here is a method of giving the pool the color that the customer wants, giving them a smooth finish, giving the applicator a very easy product to work with and trowel and expose. No acid washing, no power washing, none of that kind of thing is necessary with this finish. It can all be achieved, the exposure of this, through a acid startup. Properly done and neutralized once the proper color is achieved, and of course the pool balance. Water chemistry changes from place to place. Some places don't have much calcium hardness in their water, some places do. After a pool is filled, the fill water needs to be checked for balance, and if not balanced, needs to be balanced as soon as possible. Very important, water chemistry balance in any swimming pool application. This pool is probably about 18,000 gallons, something like that, maybe 19. So we'll probably use, like I say, 7 or 8 gallons to do our acid treatment for this pool. This is a great crew here. These guys do a really good job of putting a nice finish on the trowel. Real nice straight edges on the steps. Nicely finished off below the tile. A real nice smooth line below the tile. Nice smooth transition around all your wall fittings and your light. These guys are the real deal here. And they're working hard right now to get as much of that cream leveled out as possible. That's the big thing. Get the cream off as much as possible when you're applicating. It makes the job of exposure much easier. As you can see, this gives you a really smooth finish. These guys aren't done ragging this. This is almost going to be like a polished, finished feel to it. So that will stay, that feel will stay consistent when you do your acid startup. The acid startup should not scar this surface whatsoever. The surface will still be smooth as silk. Come on over here, we're going to get a close-up of the steps over here. You can feel how nice and smooth this surface is. Corners nice and rounded. You can see if you get a close-up of this bottom step down here, there's still some fat on it before he works it. See how it has a lot of color variation of thickness of fat in it in that step. Right now he's working it to get it more consistent. And that's what you need to do as an applicator. Level out all that cream as much as possible. If you don't do that, the finish will not look as good as it can with just a little more work. And we're rag washing it now. You can see we're taking the damp rags and just simply rinsing the surface with the rags, trying to even out as much of the layer of cream on the top as possible. Just going over it one more time. Like I said earlier, the more fat and cream you can remove at this point, the better off you are. So take a little extra time, an extra 10-15 minutes, do it one more time. It'll be worth it. Hi, I'm Jim with Hydraproducts. We're at this pool here in Spring that we shot today with our Hydraproducts Blue Blend Silver Flake. Pool is filling up with water right now, as you can see. And everything has been done as far as the finish goes. This is basically what you want to see if you're an installer when you're finished with a job, is a real nice even look to the surface with the cream that's left, so that when you do an acid startup on this pool, that acid startup over 4 or 5 days will bake most of the light layer of cream off enough to give it just a fantastic exposure. If we close in tight on these steps here, you can see how much colored quartz there is in this pool finish as far as density of material and color material goes. It's almost completely filled in with colored quartz. Not many gaps between each particle of quartz, not much gap at all, which is going to give this pool a really nice blue look when the water's filled up and chemically treated. We'll have a real nice turquoise look to the color of this pool, and we'll have a finish on this pool that is very smooth, almost as smooth as you would achieve with a polish like product such as Hydrazo or Durazo. Applying it the way we've instructed in these videos today, scraping all that fat out with the edges of your trowels, taking it out with your bucket. And when you're getting to the end, you use your water and your brush to loosen up a little more cream on the top and rag it out. Remove the cream, rinse your rags often so that you remove the cream out of the rags, and when you're going over the surface it picks up more cream. That's the biggest point, is to get the cream out of the pool before you do the startup. Said it before, said it many times. We're going to come back here, we're going to show you what this pool looks like when it's completely done and treated and brushed and all that. Right now we're going to add Startup Tech to the water. Startup Tech has a lot of good properties in it to help with the pool as it's filling and after it's filled. It has some stain protection and whatnot in there. It says prevents and removes calcium and plaster dust formation. Powerful sequestriants, reduce brushing and surface mottling. Brilliantly exposes colored and aggregate finishes with less acids. Protection lasts months to prevent scaling and staining. This is a really good product, guys. You use this at the startup of your pools after you get a bowl of water in it, pour this in it, and then take a brush and disperse it into the water real good, because if you let it set down to the bottom, it will stain the pool. So you do have to dilute it into the water. But this is great stuff. Reduces plaster dust tremendously. When we come back to start up this pool, there'll be hardly any plaster dust in it. Protects it from stains, metal stains in water, fill-up water. Guys, most of us have no idea what we're using when we turn on the hose in a pool and what that tap water or fill source water has in it. This protects you. I'd put it in it every time, guys. What is it? At SCP, maybe 40, 50 bucks? Well worth it. And you can do this, guys, without worrying about it if you got nice shoes on. I'm just going to pour the Startup Tech in this original water we got going on in here. And now we'll take the pool brush and just kind of dilute it into that water so it doesn't leave stain. And we'll be good to go. As you can see, these yellowish oranges kind of hidden there. If I just left it like this, it would sit on the bottom and leave a stain. So what you want to do is get a brush and just kind of brush this water around and dilute that Startup Tech into your startup water so you don't have any problems. Alright, what we'll probably do here in another 10 minutes is just give that one more rinse around with the brush to dissolve it after there's a little more water in there.